In this video, I'll show you a new app called illow. And illow is a cookie solution app. So I'm going to show you their website first. Then I'll show you how the sign up process works. And then I'll show you how to use it inside the app. Then I'll take you into my account that I've created already, and I've generated a cookie banner and cookie policy, and I'll show you what I liked, what I think that they could improve on. So let's dive into it. My name is Anil from marketingautomationfocus.com. Let's take a look at their website first. So as you can see on the screen here, illow's homepage, and their USP, the unique selling proposition, is we are all about data deletion. And so what does that mean? So in terms of legalities of cookie solution, cookie policy, privacy policy, one of the big concern is, okay, so you have your privacy policy, you have cookie banner, and you have cookie solution. So cookie solution mainly has two components along with privacy policy. So you got to have your privacy policy, but then you got to manage the cookies that you are using on your website for various reasons, for tracking or whatever. So one of the biggest things in any legalities of your cookie policy or cookie solution, which means the cookie, how you're managing people's consent to your cookie policy or cookie banner that you show to them, whether they allow certain cookies or not. So once you have all that data, if a user comes back and says they want to have you delete all their data, whatever you may be tracking, or they may have even consented, but then now they want the data to be deleted. So what do? So illow helps in that process. And what they say that you can automate data deletion in your company as soon as your users request the deletion of the data. So that's their main USP. Okay, so which is interesting because you could have all your consent management solution in place, you could have banners, but what do you do when the user comes back and says, I don't want any of my data on your record that I consented or not consented, or certain cookies tracking or whatever, right? So anyways, on their homepage, that's their main USP, and they give you a quick video to show you how to do things, really, but I'm not going to go into that. And they tell you that you can easily set it up, then you can sync and automate, and then inside their app you can have an overview of your data deletion request as well. So that's their main USP, as I mentioned. And then they integrate with a whole bunch of data sources that you may have users' data on various platforms, Facebook, MailChimp, and other ESPs or CRMs. So it has integration. So let's scroll down. They're just showing their website here. Now on bottom left, just to point out, this is one of the examples. So they're using their own app apparently, and it can be shown as such. And you notice, just to point out really quickly, privacy policy, cookie policy, and don't sell my data. These kinds of links can be enabled or disabled on the cookie banner. So this is a cookie banner, and you can also customize that, and I'll get into that. So let me take you to the sign up process. So here's their sign up page, and there is a very quick, maybe about a minute or so, YouTube video that they embedded, which is kind of nice, but it really actually doesn't help in signing up per se, but that's okay. That's no big deal. So I put in all the information, and I have just a website here as a demo website as an example here, just to show you how the sign up process looks like and how quickly illow works. So what it's doing is actually checking the website. Okay, so what it does right after sign up, it brings you to their pricing page. And as you can see, whether you pick up a monthly plan or annual plan, and there is a free option as well, which includes 12,000 monthly visitors, but it can only be used on one domain. And it doesn't support multi-language cookie banner, and it doesn't support the data request form and dashboard. So now I think it's nice that they provide the free plan, but what's the point if their USP is data deletion? Then because I believe that this data request form and dashboard is actually part of the data deletion, because that data request form is can be used or is used for data deletion, right? So I in my opinion, it's nice to have the free account, but then it's kind of limited. I would suggest that, okay, multi-language cookie banner, fine, it doesn't support, that's okay, and limit it to monthly visitors and only one domain. But hey, I think they should include data request form and dashboard and as part of free plan as well. So I'm going to go ahead and check out the free plan, and let's see how fast the app actually sets things up. So it's scanning the website and it's scanning for cookies that are already there in terms of the scripts or whatever, and then it generating a cookie banner. So it does all of these things in the background without any user interaction. Okay, so now so I think this is really cool. This is really nice that is scanning the website and went through all the steps, so you don't have to do almost nothing, at least to get started, right? And then it gives you the code, and you can either send instructions or request assistance from them, and you can simply copy to clipboard. Okay, and then code has been copied to a clipboard. You can then insert this code on your website for all your pages on your website. So I'm just going to go ahead and for now just finish setup. So let me actually show you what I think of this. So as soon as the initial setup automatically finished, it brings you to this dashboard. Now it gets a little bit confusing, I think, and at least I was confused because let's just say that I'm just going to set up the cookie solution and banner and cookie policy. So maybe yes, you do need to integrate with data sources, but I may not want to do that at first. I'm looking to set up cookie banner, for example, and then the request form. Now it's a little bit confusing what is this request form is. So it says add ilow's request form to receive your data subject request. So technically, and per the legalities of those cookie policy and laws, that's, I believe, this data subject request form. That's what they call it, but I didn't know, and so I realized that that's what that means. Otherwise, you will be confused what the heck this form is. Um, and and then it talks about that this little video is kind of nice, but um, at this point in the beginning, I don't think we need this, and it may cause some confusion. So I would probably put this area some other place. But as a dashboard, there's another confusing part. So let's just say that I ignore all of this and I say I want to set up the cookie banner. Okay. So I click on the left sidebar, I click on cookie banner, and then it says integration process, right? So it's it's actually telling me that the cookie banner has not been integrated into a website, which is fine. Um, and in my experience, actually, it took quite a bit long. And I started after I inserted this code on my website, and it took I would say probably anywhere from a minute, maybe longer. And I kept suspecting that maybe I did not insert the code at the right place. Like it says, beginning of the head tag of your site's HTML code. So you can use, if it's a WordPress website and you have a plugin, like a code snippet plugin, then you can put it in the header of that code snippet plugin, which will allow you to insert this code. So I'm just going to go ahead and insert this code on the website and then come back to this video. So I've installed the cookie banner script on my website, and I've come back here. Now, one of the things that you can notice that there is no checking of this script here. So how do you check it? I have no clue. Maybe click on this. Banner code has not been integrated yet, but we have no idea how long it's going to take. What is it doing, and how do we? I think you can still move forward, but it's kind of strange. So there is no button to trigger the checking. So I could try refreshing this app, but we shouldn't have to do that. So I'm just going to then move forward. There is no next button. It would be nice to move forward with the next button of some sort, but all we can do is either click here, and then it takes you to the position and format, right? And I could have just clicked on the position and format a menu on the top here as well. But I would think that it would be better to just have a next button, and it will just, you just need to not even come here, because we're not sure if the next one is that menu that we're supposed to. So kind of a foolproof thing that I'm thinking. So anyways, if so, in my case, is English is a language. Right now, the default is for cookie banner to show up at the bottom of your website page. You can select either one. This is the one that illow is using on their website, and it's popping up even within their app. And I can click cookie accept all cookies. And the color, you can change the color. You can define the hex code for your main color. You can change the background, and you can also change the font color. And if you want the controller that allows the user to see the cookie banner again, so that's something that you can see right at the left bottom left over here. And if you select this one, then it would not show up, I guess, but it's hard to tell. So I would suggest to improve on this. Maybe have something. It's kind of obvious, but then again, well, I don't know why it showed up again. So you can decide not to have the widget on the bottom left side of your website. Now you can customize the widget, how it looks. This one requires a subscription. This one will probably require subscription as well. So depending on how you want then your widget to invoke the cookie banner again if someone wants to update their consent through cookie banner. So that's the purpose of that widget. And then this is the custom text that you can have, but this one is the default that illow is using on their website as well. Okay, so let's move on. Let's keep everything the same. So it would be nice to just kind of have some kind of a next button or something on the top and the bottom. So that would be nice, but I think then we can just move on to the next cookie categorization. Now, in this one, what they have done apparently is that so it's a nice feature that you can rescan. So let's say you installed some other tracking code or whatever, then you can rescan, and then it will hopefully advise. I haven't checked that on or automatically include in your cookie policy as well, and in your cookie solution banner for people to choose if it's not necessary one. So in this case, this one, after scanning, illow will automatically sort your cookies into various categories, and they recommend users to check that sorting was accurate and sort unknown cookies also. So I think this one is, if you kind of expand this, there's nothing you can do, but it just kind of shows you the necessary ones and statistics, marketing, preferences. Those are the 4 categories. And now let me click on this, but it doesn't do anything except that it's actually changing the category or classification for this one, PHP session ID or something like that. So that may be necessary here. That may be necessary here. Okay, so again, it would be nice to have just kind of a workflow type, guide the user to the next screen. So I'm gonna say consent, cookie consent log. So that's available only to the paid account. And again, I don't know why it keeps showing. Maybe every time you go to a different page, or like page in this case is the app page. And then let's click on advanced settings. So these are the advanced settings that are available that block cookies until users consent. So in some jurisdictions, this may be required. Now, again, why would this not be? So this one, I would suggest that should be included in the free account, because what am I going to do with one website free account to do what? Unless I'm only playing. But if I really want to use, if illow wants people to actually, it's limited by way of monthly visits and number of domains. So then I would actually have all the features included in the free plan. And if not, then at least some of the ones that I believe that block cookies until user consent is the one that I would definitely include in the free plan as well. Now, hide power by illow, activate CCPA mode. Again, if this one activates CCPA mode, should also be included in the free plan as well. And hide powered by illow message, this is fine. And let's see, show banner only on those countries where it's required. So in this case, yes, it would be nice if this was included in the free plan as well. But I guess I could live with that. But the 2 options or settings, block cookies until users consent, should be turned on. As far as my understanding is that in some jurisdictions or some policies or laws require that. So if I'm using that one domain as a free plan, why not have that? It should be. And then activate CCPA mode as well. So those are the 2 I would suggest that should be included. Now let's just quickly look into this. So now from this point, you can go to home, okay? And it looks like what? Let's see here. So banner customized, so that's fine. Cookie policy created, that's fine. Privacy policy has not been, because we haven't gone through this. Data request form created successfully. That was part of the sign up. Now banner code has not been integrated yet. So like I was saying before, I have no clue when it's going to be actually detecting that the code is installed. So we have no idea. We can't really invoke a check manually, right? And we have no idea how often it checks. So we're sort of stuck. So that's one of the things that I would suggest them to do. So now there's, if I go back, so now if I, this home and this home seems to be different. They seem to be different because when I click on home here, it gives me this dashboard. Okay, which may be fine, but this is somewhat confusing that the home or the main dashboard should have maybe other apps here, including maybe have a button or widget for cookie banner, one widget for policies, or maybe separate cookie policy and privacy policy, and then they have the privacy ops, and keep these here. But now for cookie banner, it's a direct link, fine. But the cookie banner, this home and this home is confusing. So I would get rid of this home here, right? So this may need some app user interface and user experience. I would suggest changing a little bit, because then it's confusing. I'm already at home. I may not click on the left bar home section, which is different. Okay. And so now for set up the first data source. So now this is, now it says, wait, let's add your company name. Okay, maybe later. Okay, that's fine. Oh, so now I can't do the data source. So I guess that's maybe because of some laws or requirements that I'm not aware of. So let's just say, okay, let's just accept this. Okay. So I think now it's taking to some other setup. So I'm just going to say, all right, that's my company. Save changes. Okay, then what? So nothing happened. So it didn't take me back to where I was, right? So it should take me back if it asking me that. So now I'm going to have to go back because there's no data source here. And I'll get to this current site settings, but so home, I guess, set up first data source. So now it shows a whole bunch of integrations you could have, Sendinblue integration. So I'm not going to go into that detail here, and I haven't tried that. And then these are the data sources. So now it also, it's nice that it's actually giving you, once you're in the data sources, once you click the data sources widget from your home page, it brings you to here, which also has this request and request form set up. So it's kind of okay, but that's not why I was here. If I go back to home, the request form is here, and then takes you to the same section. So more than one option, so that's probably fine. Now I've tried this form on another website with another sign up that I was mentioning before, is that now you can show data request link in your cookie banner. So when you create this form and you can customize it, now this request form, I would suggest to rename this and actually do use the official name, because over here there's some inconsistencies here. So if it's data subject request form, I would just make uppercase. I'm splitting here. So and depending on what kind of data request that you are going to entertain or allow your users to request what types of requests, then you can customize it. I noticed that on illow's website, maybe they're customizing based on where I'm at in the US, and they only had two options. I believe they had data deletion and information request. Those were the only two I saw on their own form. But it's nice to have this because obviously that's their USP of data deletion. So you gotta let or give that option to your visitors, and you can also include ask for. So if someone puts in a request for data deletion, you can ask for their phone numbers, if you had collected phone numbers, just to confirm who they are, to uniquely make sure that they're the right person to requesting their own data deletion, and then add a custom question if you wanted. Now, one thing I noticed that, which is good, is that once someone submits it, because then now the next question would be, okay, if I'm doing it or I'm a bot and I just put some random email and put in a request, okay, so how do you handle that? So what they do is they actually I tried it on their own. No, actually, I tried it on my own other website form that I had created and embedded. And so with that form, I just put in my email address and I received an email to confirm that request. Okay. And then I'll show you in a minute that they also have an option. So it's automatic in some sense that the data can be deleted with the deletion request, but there are options to even reject. So if a bot filled out and it doesn't make any sense, and in the back end of this app you see bunch of requests that don't make any sense, you can actually reject that request. So anyways, that's enough on the request form. So I really think that it could be improved with a little bit of explanation for people who don't really know or they're doing it for the first time, and clarify. And so you can see that the reason that they ask for company name is, I guess they're forcing it, that your form should state that welcome to your company name, user data request platform. I'm not sure this data request platform is the right terminology. So it's a little, I would just say that to make a request of your personal information, please fill out the form. Yeah, so that's fine, but I'm not too sure about this statement, welcome to this company or whatever. Maybe it should allow the website name or something like that, and then add this company name as well. Some users may not remember or recognize the actual company name in the form itself. They just visited the website and they want some action, data deletion, or whatever other requests that you are allowing them to request to fill out this form. So now let's go to request here, tab. So this one is where you will see the request come in, and then I could show you really quick what I have on the other one and how it looks. So I'm not sure what this previous and next is, maybe based on date. So let's go quickly to policies here. So now this one, the cookie policy that it generated automatically, which is nice. So it has a check mark and is recommended, but it gives you flexibility of if you had generated cookie policy using another service, then, or you drafted yourself and you got your attorney, verify and checked by an attorney, and then you want to use that, then you can choose this one. Now for privacy policy, I don't know why. I guess it's a flexibility. Is the default is don't include privacy policy in my cookie banner. Typically, again, if I didn't mention this, that this video and my suggestions are not a legal advice. I'm not an attorney, but in my personal opinion, what I do and like on my cookie banner to have a link to privacy policy so people can easily go and check the privacy policy out. So I think so. What you could do is that this illow actually allows you to create, either you use your own, so just like the cookie policy, or you can start generating. Okay, so it's a nice prompt. So I like this. So let's just say maybe later. So it goes back to don't include the privacy, and you can save changes. So I'm going to show you what it generated and have some thoughts on this policy here. So it says if you don't have a privacy policy, you can create one here and it will automatically be added to your banner. So that's good, automatically banner, and it can help you create one, but it's quite limited, and I'll show you what I did going through the steps rather than having this video too long. So that's that, and then privacy ops is basically taking you to the request. So again, it's okay to be able to, so no matter out of these three in this area, but this privacy ops doesn't tell me anything. Now that I know that what's in there, maybe I'll remember, maybe not, but I would probably reword this privacy ops. I guess it's operations management. So I think not privacy ops. I would say this, data request or something along those lines to separate the two. And this cookie banner, but this one is cookie banner, but then it has more than that, right? So it has the banner related position and format, the cookie categorization, and then that's fine. But so it's basically, this one is a cookie banner, and then maybe separate the cookie consent log and advanced setting that I guess I can't go there because of the free or trial account, and then it goes to home of that, which is fine. And advanced settings were the ones that we just talked about. So I think in terms of the cookie banner and the cookie consent log, well, it's kind of, you can say that it's part of cookie banner, but then I would separate those out or clarify somehow that if I need to check the cookie consent log, then I need to click on cookie banner here. And if I go to home, maybe we should have widget for easy going to the cookie consent log, and then data requests or I don't know what to call, but anyways, so those are the things that and let me take you to another account where I can show you how the cookie policy and privacy policy that I generated looks like. So here's my other trial account that I mentioned, and the script is installed. I went through looking at the creating a privacy policy, and if I edit the policy now, I can see how it looks. So in many ways it's kind of clean. It was at first it was confusing because these buttons on the top here, they kind of look like like jagged a little bit, but later on I discovered that these are different sections, and these just pop to a different one, but it's not allowing me to click on this for some reason. Okay, so it's forcing for some reason. It's forcing me. Yeah, so it's forcing me to go through this step, which doesn't have to be. So now you're on the legislations. It doesn't really guide you anything about privacy policy. So it's not, I wouldn't call ILO a privacy policy feature as well. I mean, it's yes, kind of, but it's not, I would say it's not comprehensive. So it's just the basic one, and then next, then you're sort of on your own in terms of selecting the data recollection. I'm not sure why it's called recollection. Maybe data collection, maybe some kind of legalese there. That's why they have it. And then if you go to next, now your DPO. Now here's another point. So comply with selected to comply with selected regulations, with the selected regulations, or whatever you select. I don't know if it changes if you didn't select certain regulations. You must have an assigned DPO or data protection officer. There you go, not data privacy, data protection officer. So does your company have an assigned DPO? If I say no, it's still letting me generate one. So if I don't have one, then if you're asking this question, then either have some other option or say something when somebody selects no. And if you say yes, then you obviously put this information, and that goes into your privacy policy. But even though it's required and I say no, then my privacy policy is not really good anymore, right? So and then you can save it based on. So let's just say, I don't know if it's going to show me. I think there was a way to see how the privacy policy looks like, or even the cookie policy. So let's just say it's successfully generated. Okay, so here it is. Here's another. I was a little confused on this. So go to configs, but we don't really know, what does this mean? Does this mean you go back to, let's just say, go to config. So you come back here, but it doesn't take you to privacy policy configuration, and it should take me to here. Okay, and now I can't really exit without going through next button at the bottom. I can't go straight to DPO. Let me see. No, so I don't know why the mouse changes to the hand thing here. Okay, so let's just go to, so I lost the, okay, so I lost the opportunity to see. That's a little tricky here. Next, I'm just going to go through next, and then save. And it shouldn't really take even these few seconds here because there was nothing changed. Now, if it says check policy, I'm going to click on this. Okay, so this is confusing because it's not showing me the policy. So I would also suggest that this policy view should also be listed as an option here. If I wanted to go straight to the policy here, maybe with an edit option. So on a left sidebar should be cookie policy and privacy policy. So policy successfully generated. Why does it say this? It should say privacy policy successfully generated. But then where is the privacy policy? So what I did, if you click on this, I shouldn't have to click on this. And now once I watch this, click English, now it's going to show me this policy, right? So so I would suggest that the this view should automatically by default come up when and after I'm done with saving. And if it's giving me those options, then once I'm done with those, so So once I walk away from here, then I have no way of viewing the privacy policy, or even I'll show you the cookie policy. Well, I should click on this. Well, I don't see cookie policy here. So I can't edit here. So I have to go here maybe, and cookie categorization maybe. This one, I don't know why maybe it didn't pick up any. Maybe I don't have anything here. Let's just rescan. Process successfully, but there's nothing. So I don't know how to check the cookie policy itself. So it doesn't give you an option to view your cookie policy, as far as I can tell. So anyways, hopefully it gave you enough of information. This is a first look on this app. It seems very simple, neat, clean. There are a few things on UI and UX side that I would suggest a lot of those improvements. And also, like I mentioned, on the menu, and that goes with the UI UX that I mentioned. So, all right, so that's all for now, and I'll see you in another one. Bye for now.